ATMC TV's Game of the Week is brought to you by J.P. Russ & Son Grading and Clearing, Community Finance of South Carolina, Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue's Haunted Trail, The Doghouse Grill 2, Strand Termite and Pest Control, the Brunswick Beacon, and ATMC.
Welcome to your ATMC TV Game of the Week. I'm Sam Hickman, joined as always by Jay Combs. We're coming to you from M.H. Rourke Stadium in Charlotte for West Brunswick's Mid-Eastern Conference opener against the visiting Ashley Screaming Eagles. This is an Ashley team coming off a 40-15 defeat last week against East Duplin. And Jay, if these West Brunswick Trojans are going to get in the win column for the first time this year, this week, they're going to have to do a nice job stopping Ashley running back Freddie Thames.
Yeah, he's number 5. He's going to be very active tonight, Sam. Freddie Thames, 6 foot, $180, senior running back, 335 yards on the year rushing, nearly 5 yards per carry, and he can do some damage through the air where he's caught 8 passes for 88 yards, and he's also scored 4 touchdowns for the Screaming Eagles. The quarterback is number 7, Logan Black, 5'10", senior. He's thrown for 119 yards this season. He's rushed for 3 touchdowns. He runs the show, and they do a pretty good job offensively, averaging 22 points per game. On defense, keep an eye on number 12, Elijah Robinson, big guy, 6'4", 210, senior linebacker, 34 tackles, a sack, and an interception. And also number 3, Grant Grenion, 6 foot, 230, senior defensive end, 24 tackles, but the big number that jumps out is 4 sacks. Leads the conference in sacks this year. He'll be in that backfield tonight unless the West offensive line knocks him down.
And this is a West Brunswick team coming into tonight's contest 0-4, searching for its first win, and faced several question marks coming into the season, one of which was who is going to run the ball for the Trojans without Anthony Bubba McCray, and the answer has been it's been several guys.
Yeah, lots of guys, and they've all run pretty well. In fact, as a team, West has rushed the ball very well this season. But the guys that are doing the most damage is Kason Medford. He's a 5'9", 180-pound senior. He's a bulldog. He is strong. He leads the team in rushing with 355 yards coming into tonight's game. The speed guy is number 20, DeMonte Daniels. He's a junior, very shifty, very quick, and he's over 250 yards on the ground for the season. Defensively, the linebackers, very active. Russ Gore, Jakari Bethel, 1-2 on the team in tackles. Gore had 15 in a great game against North Myrtle Beach earlier this season. So West has been close, lost 1 game by 1 point, lost 1 game by 1 touchdown. They got to get a little better in the red zone, Sam, and they got to clean up the penalties. 340 yards in 4 games, that's way too many yards to be effective.
And West will have to clean some of those issues up if it's going to get his first win of the 2017 campaign. Thanks for joining us on our ATMC TV Game of the Week. Stay with us for the opening kickoff. Brunswick won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so the Screaming Eagles have a man back at their own 9-yard line for the opening kick. It's a deep diagonal kick, fielded at about the 11-yard line. That's Jaheim Marshall on the return for the Screaming Eagles. He runs into his own man and is brought down at the 37 or 38-yard line, where Ashley will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, Jaheim Marshall, he's a 10th grader, and he's off to a real good start for Ashley this year. He's caught 8 passes for 36 yards. He's rushed the ball for 114 yards and also scored a touchdown. So not a big guy at 5'10", 165, but certainly a guy that West Brunswick's defense has to be aware of here tonight.
And Jay, you spoke about this young man in the pregame, but Ashley's offense kind of goes as far as young Freddie Thames will take them.
Yeah, Thames is an awfully good running back, averages nearly 5 yards per touch.
Speaking of Thames, there he is around the right side. He's got some running room, and he's brought down by none other than West Brunswick's number 44, Russ Gore, who adds to his team leading tackle total on the season.
Yeah, Gore and Bethel are the guys that attack you from those linebacker positions. That time, number 75, Caleb Hobbs, a senior offensive lineman for the Screaming Eagles, had a pretty good block and helped Thames carve out that first 4 or 5 yard gain.
Ashley facing a 2nd and 6 from its own 42-yard line. That's Black. He fakes the handoff, and he's brought down by Russ Gore and Jakari Bethel. So the two leading tacklers on this West Brunswick defense are off to a great start as Ashley's run 2 plays and Russ Gore's made 2 tackles.
Yeah, some good penetration that time by West, and Gore and Bethel there. They're not going to miss a lot of tackles. You know, Gore is not that big. 205 pounds, something like that, but a very smart, cerebral type player. Looking at Ivy League schools, he's just an excellent all-around athlete.
Black drops back to pass. He's under some pressure, and the pass is nearly picked off by Russ Gore, but the pass is deflected. It hits the turf and falls incomplete. So the Trojans hold Ashley to 5 total yards on the first possession of the game, and Ashley's going to trot out the punt unit.
Yeah, Tyler Tate that time from his linebacker position had some pressure on the quarterback Logan Black, and Gore in the right position to knock that ball down. Russ Gore off to a sensational start here on the first defensive series. Let's see if the Trojans can get something going with their special teams.
That is Ashley's Aaron Lease back to punt, it appears. Having a tough time. It is number 20, Aaron Lease back to punt. It's a good snap. He fields it cleanly. It's a high punt. It's going to bounce down at the 31-yard line of West Brunswick and come to rest at the 29-yard line. So the Trojans force a 3 and out. The punt is down at the 29-yard line, and the Trojans will take over 1st and 10.
Sam, that time Amir Ford came real close to blocking that punt. Ford's a kid that finally got some time on the field 2 weeks ago. West was off last week against Lumberton. He had some injuries early on, but he had 80 yards on the ground. So another one of those deep running backs that we were talking about in the pregame.
That's a toss sweep, and it's spilled out to the right side, and the Ashley tackler makes a play on West Brunswick's Jalen Jones Bay, and I believe Jones Bay lost a yard or 2 on that play. It'll give him a loss of 1 to bring up a 2nd and 11.
Little slow getting around the edge that time. Play was just a tad slow in developing and allowed the Eagles to kind of penetrate and seal off the outside. Jones Bay couldn't get any yards. In fact, as you said, Sam actually lost 1. So 2nd and 11 for Owen McDowell and West Brunswick.
McDowell hands off up the middle. Looks like that was Medford on the carry, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picked up a yard and got back to the original line of scrimmage, but very little doing in the teeth of that Ashley defense.
Big Joe Barbera, he's one of their captains. He's on the defensive line, 6 foot, 265 pounds. He really wrapped up Medford before he could gain any yardage. So 3rd and difficult situation. A team that doesn't like to throw that much in a passing situation.
McDowell's got the snap. He's going to throw the screen, and it's off the hands of the receiver. It's Rashawn Price, the intended receiver, and it bounces off of his hands, then his chest, and falls to the turf, incomplete.
So sets up a punting situation clearly for West Brunswick. I doubt if Kelly Williams is going to gamble from back here, but who knows? He's trying to get this team off the slide for sure. Owen McDowell handles some of the punting duties for this squad.
Oh, McDowell, the Trojans have McDowell kick it out of the shotgun, and he shanks it off the side of his foot. A very short punt. May have crossed the 40-yard line. We're going to see where it's marked.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have West Brunswick butt pads for sale.
Oh, Sam Hickman, if you believe in field position, which a lot of very knowledgeable football folk do. The battle of field position so far being won by Ashley. They'll take over this possession on the West Brunswick 45-yard line. The less you have to go, Sam, the easier it should be.
And Jay, that was a 16-yard punt off the foot of McDowell to give the Screaming Eagles excellent field position. And the ball carrier's got some room around the right side until he's met by Russ Gore and Ford, and that is a 4-yard gain. That was Ashley's number 33 on the carry. That's number 33, Zach Williams, the 5'7" junior running back. And he was brought down after a gain of 4.
I wonder if that's the same Zach Williams that sings the Christian song Chain Breaker. I doubt it, but it's a way to weave it in, right, Sam?
I didn't know that's who sang that song.
There you go.
Nice job, partner. It looks like the Trojans were a little eager on that defensive play. It looked like 2 guys jumped off sides there, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on West Brunswick, and that's going to set up a 2nd and 1 situation for the Ashley Screaming Eagles.
And Sam, that's one of the things that we talked about in the pregame. West has sort of shot themselves in the foot through their first 4 games this season, picking up all those penalties, 340 yards. And penalties in 4 games, that is not a good statistic, and they just added 5 to it on that play.
Black is in the shotgun. He hands it off to Thames, who bounces it around the left side, looking for some running room. He's got very little, but he does have enough to get across the 35 for an Ashley first down.
Moore again in on the tackle and some help from Big 77 Monty Stanley. But Sam, I love the word you used that time to describe Fetty Thames. Bounce it around, showed some good lateral movement and some good quickness, and he's a legit runner, no question about it. The numbers that he brought into this game certainly representative of the type of running back he is. A good one.
And Jay, that was a little counter action there from Ashley. Appeared as if it was going to be a handoff to the right side, and one Freddie Thames jump cut later, and all the action's going back to the left. As Thames has got it again, makes another jump cut. This time he's brought down by Bethel, and looked like Monty Stanley was in on that tackle, and that was no gain on the play from Thames.
Yeah, Amir Ford helping out too on that, but you're right. West that time attacked the ball much better than they did on the previous possession, and really wrapped up Thames before he could get into that second wave of daylight. If you can get past the line of scrimmage, and if you're a pretty good running back, and it certainly looks like Freddie Thames is, you can do some damage. But the second wave that time stood up, stopped Thames.
A 4 or 5 yard gain there for the Screaming Eagles. That was Black on the read option play.
Oh, nice effort that time by Black. Kind of looked like he was going to throw the ball to the outside, tucked it back down, ran straight ahead. Black is a good runner. He scored 3 touchdowns on the ground this year for Ashley. He is a 5'10" senior, 175-pounder. Nice to have a senior playing QB for you.
Looks like that's going to be another penalty on the Trojans. The bad news is that's the second offsides penalty of the possession. Oh, never mind. That's going to be a procedure false start penalty on Ashley, which is going to back the ball up and put the Eagles in about a 3rd and 12 situation from the West Brunswick 35.
Well, penalties hurt you, and we talked about the difficulties that West has had so far this season. Same thing with Ashley. Hard to give up those yards. They're so difficult to earn, and you certainly don't want to give them away.
3rd and 12 for the Screaming Eagles as Black looks to the sideline to get the play from his offensive coordinator.
This is a team that does not throw the football a lot, Sam, so you would think this would be a running play, certainly in what might be 4-down territory. And there they're going to throw it.
Looking for a screen pass. He's got a little bit of room, but West Brunswick has it defended. Gore makes a wonderful play to tackle the pass receiver, Nazir Johnson. So looked like the receiver had a little bit of space there, and Russ Gore closes quickly and makes the tackle.
Boy, has Gore had a great game here, and we are, about 6 minutes into tonight's contest. Lord knows how many tackles Russell's picked up already, but certainly wrapped up the ball carrier that time before he could get going down the field. So excellent play by the senior Russ Gore.
By my unofficial count, that is 5 tackles already in 2 possessions for the Eagles. So Russ Gore looking to best his season high of 15 tackles. Of course, he set that against North Myrtle Beach 3 weeks ago.
Coach Jeff Turner playing the field position game.
Playing the field position battle, and what appeared to be a bobbled snap. Lease gets it off, and it's down inside the West Brunswick 20-yard line. So all things considered, a nice job by Lease to gather the snap, get it away, and pin the Trojans back deep.
Yeah, anytime you can pin the other team inside the 20, that's generally a pretty good play, and Lease did a nice job of pinning back West Brunswick deep in their territory to start out this possession.
It's like the Trojans are going to have 1st and 10 on their own 16-yard line after the 19-yard punt. Jay, it looks like McDowell's calling an audible at the line. Maybe didn't like the look from the defense, so he changes the play. He tosses it out left to Medford. Medford's got a little bit of running room. He's across the 20, where he's brought down, but Jay, after the last possession, that's a nice little gain on 1st down. You can handle 2nd and 6.
Yeah, well, that's a nice makeable, handleable, whatever the right word is, down and distance situation. Picking up 4 on that first carry, Jaheim Marshall with the stop. So Russ Gore lined up at tight end that time and doing some good blocking. As hot as he's been in the first few plays, I'd find a way to get the ball to him.
And very nearly came up with an interception on Ashley's first offensive possession. So West Brunswick with a 2nd and 5 from the 21-yard line. That handoff is up the middle. Looks like that's Medford again on the carry. And they're going to give him the 23-yard line for a gain of 2. And that's going to bring up a critical 3rd down and 3 from the West Brunswick 23-yard line.
Tackle that time by number 44, Shane Dickerson. He's a 5'11", 215-pound senior linebacker for the Screaming Eagles of Ashley High School. 3rd and 3. Owen can get this with his feet, Sam.
McDowell hands it off around the left side. That's going to be enough. That's big. Ja'Cory Bethel. He's still on his feet all the way across the West Brunswick 45. Big gain from Bethel, and it's a Trojans 1st down.
Excellent run by Bethel. I was calling 42 Amir Ford for the first 5 minutes until Sam kind of tickled me and said, hey, get your numbers straight. Well, we got him straight that time. The big guy, Ja'Cory Bethel. Hard running around the left side. Early in the season, he was running the ball a lot more than he has the past few games. So I'm guessing Ja'Cory says, Coach, let me run the skin.
And Jay, it looks like that was the very same play as Bethel's looking for more running room, and a nice cut across midfield to the Ashley 48 for an 8-yard gain for Bethel.
Bethel, really strong. Okay, excellent wrestler. And uses that strength and his good, solid football ability on the last 2 runs.
Jay, that's 2 carries and 29 yards for Bethel already. Both of those carries coming on the last 2 plays.
Some good blocking on the left side of that line. Big Monty clearing his way.
Looked like the same play again for the Trojans, and Bethel is brought down, and Jay, Trojans very fortunate that forward progress was called because the ball came out late, and it looked like, well, Bethel did come away with the pile for it. The ball did come out, but forward progress stopped the play, and that's actually a loss of 1 on the play for Bethel, and that's going to set up the 2nd, 3rd, and 3 of the drive.
Joe Barbera again in a stop for Ashley. So sets up the 3rd and call it 3. Again, Owen McDowell can throw the football, but like the fact where he can kind of go either way, but they're going right up the gut.
Right up the gut, and it's going to be very close according to the mark on the far side. Jay, I think they're going to be maybe a foot or two short.
They're definitely short.
We'll give Bethel 2 on the carry. Sorry, partner.
See what Coach Kelly Williams said. Is he going to gamble? Or is he going to play field possession? But they are going to measure. Close enough to measure, Sam, but from up here, looks like it might be just a wee bit short. Went on the quick count that time, trying to catch Ashley a little bit unaware, but the Screaming Eagles did a good job of bringing down the big guy, Bethel.
And Jay, that was 4 straight carries there from Bethel. He picked up 21 yards and 8 yards on the first 2 carries, then lost a yard, and then picked up 2 here. So we're going to see, waiting on the measurement.
Boy, that is so close.
Oh, it's so close.
Oh, my God.
So close. Jay, probably, I don't know, maybe an eighth of the football short.
You folks at home can see that's a great camera shot to show you just how close West Brunswick is in picking up that first down. So they're still kind of playing around here just to make sure, and the official showing you there that maybe 4 inches. Can you get 4 inches, Sam?
Jay, I think, you know, of course, in the conference season, it's a new season, conference opener for both these teams, but you got to feel like for an 0-4 football team, 4th and inches on the opponent's side of the field, you're going for this.
Took the words out of my mouth. This is your stadium. This is where you want to make things happen. Fall forward, you can get 4 inches. Let's see what kind of a drive off the line of scrimmage they can get.
McDowell plows through the line, and that's going to be plenty enough for a West Brunswick first down. Jay, smart play there by McDowell. He didn't go right over the top of the center. It looked like he kind of slid to the side there, and just enough for the first down. We'll give McDowell 2 on the quarterback sneak.
He kind of wiggled when they waggled, and he picked up the important first down. So good effort by Owen, and good effort by that offensive line for West Brunswick. Got a pretty good charge on the ball that time, and move the chains, Sam. That's an important part of this game, right? You know, keep those downs going.
Promising drive for West Brunswick as the Trojans have covered 40 yards in 7 plays here, and they have 1st and 10 on the Ashley 44. McDowell hands the ball off. The ball carrier still on his feet. That's Noah Johnson across the 40, brought down at the 39. And Jay, it's only about 5 or 6 yards, but it looked like it was going to be a loss of 3 as Johnson was met in the backfield as soon as he got the handoff.
Johnson took a pretty good lick that time, but was able to not only hang on to the football, but maintain his balance and turned what looked like to be a potential loss into a 5-yard gain. So 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 for the Trojans. Nice looking drive here for West Brunswick, and held the ball here the last half of the first quarter.
That handoff goes up the middle, and that's a lot of running room for the Trojans. 45, Daniel Cross on the carry. Very close to the first down yardage, and the referee indicates that it is a first down for West Brunswick. So Cross, first carry of the night. Of course, Cross had the rushing touchdown against North Myrtle Beach, and he picks up a first down on his initial carry of tonight's contest.
That's the 4th or 5th different player who has carried the ball here for West Brunswick in the first quarter tonight. Deep running attack for the Trojans.
That handoff is up the middle. I believe that was Bethel on the carry. He may have got to the 30-yard line for 3 yards. That was Bethel. He's marked down at the 31, so we'll give him 2 yards on the play to bring up a 2nd and 8.
Tell you what, the guys up front are going to sleep well tonight. Big guy 77, Monty Stanley, and 61, Tim Sellers, Holler, Tyler Long. A lot of guys up there pounding some flesh as the first quarter ends.
That is the end of the first quarter. West Brunswick will have a 2nd and 8 from the 31-yard line, and it gives us a chance here at ATMC TV to thank a couple of our sponsors for tonight's Game of the Week. J.P. Russ & Son. J.P. Russ & Son has served Brunswick County since 1947 and has become the local leader in all your heavy equipment needs. Paving, grading, clearing, drainage, and much more. J.P. Russ & Son will haul any material, even rock. give JP Russ and Son a call at 754-6023. And if you need a little cash to make that happen, don't hesitate to call Community Finance of South Carolina. Community Finance offers personal loans and title loans with the most competitive rates in the area. Located right across the border in beautiful Little River, South Carolina, Community Finance provides quick approval so you can have cash in minutes. Visit Community Finance online at cfscloans.com. Jay, first quarter impressions.
Pretty solid effort by West for sure. That's a long, sustained drive, Sam. I don't know when they took over, but there had to be a good 4 or 5 minutes left.
Jay, there was 5:04 left on the first quarter clock when West took over.
Very methodical drive, all on the ground, featuring the running of several running backs, different running backs, particularly Jakari Bethel in that particular series. But good effort by West for sure, and Ashley playing tough too. So let's see which team's going to blink first here in this nothing ball game heading into quarter number 2.
We got our dance team out here.
And Jay, not to harp on the fact, but just to stress the importance of this game, West Brunswick still searching for its first win of the campaign. And you got to feel like they like their chances here tonight against a strong Ashley team, but, definitely a winnable one for this West Brunswick squad.
Don't think they've lost to Ashley since 2013, so a good team to try to get well on.
That tosses around the right side. Bethel's got some room, and he's all the way down close to the Ashley 20-yard line for an 11-yard gain and a West Brunswick first down.
That's a pretty good tackle by Elijah Solomon. Absent that, Jakari is still running, but a solid play by Bethel that time. Good blocking at the point of attack by the offensive line of West Brunswick. And Jakari Bethel, as most good backs, if they can get past that first line of defense, they can do some damage.
McDowell under center. He hands to Bethel up the middle, and he's met by a host of Screaming Eagle tacklers. A yard on the pickup is going to bring up a 2nd and 9 from the Ashley 19. Jay, Bethel, unorthodox high school running back. He's just so big and powerful. He's a tough kid to bring down.
Yeah, he is. He gives a little of this, gives a little of that, and then when you hit him, it hurts, right? So he's a strong guy and doing a great job. Barbera in on the stop that time for Ashley. Joe Barbera's been in on a number of tackles here tonight. He's having a really solid game from that defensive line position for Jeff Turner. Screaming Eagles.
West Brunswick calls a timeout. After the timeout, West will have a 2nd and 9 from the 19-yard line. And ATMC TV would like to thank the Brunswick Beacon for its sponsorship of tonight's game. Your community newspaper since 1962, the Brunswick Beacon is your source for local news, sports, and features. Subscribe to the Beacon today. Call 910-754-6890 or go to brunswickbeacon.com.
You see a good shot on the west side that time. Number 64, Casey Holler, had his helmet off. We don't see these guys without their helmets. So we're wondering, what do they look like? Casey Holler, pretty good-looking guy, Sam.
No doubt about it.
He's got some hair now.
Yeah,
he's got
maybe the best lettuce on the team.
Let me tell you, number 64, Casey Holler. So girls, ladies, keep a look at those offensive linemen, man. That's where the things go on inside.
Jay, I was actually having a conversation with Casey's dad pregame, and he said, the only time you hear about the offensive lineman is if they commit a penalty. McDowell's got a man. Medford's open. Medford's in. Touchdown, West Brunswick. A 19-yard scoring strike from Owen McDowell to Casey Medford. With 10:57 left in the second quarter, the Trojans take the lead. West Brunswick 6, Ashley 0.
Excellent execution that time by Owen McDowell, and great work by the offensive line to give him time to find Medford coming out of the backfield. Hunter Yance in the kick.
The kick is up and it splits the uprights, so Yance converts the point after attempt, and Barely a minute into the second quarter, the West Brunswick Trojans have claimed a 7-0 lead over the Ashley Screaming Eagles.
That was just a good drive, culminating with the only pass of the drive, the little pass to Medford out of the backfield. Again, set up because of some good ball handling and faking by McDowell and some good offensive line work by the Trojans' offensive line team. That's just a good drive, good solid drive, and a good way for West to start this game tonight.
Great drive, Jay, and it was also 12 plays and ate up 6 minutes and 7 seconds of the game clock. So this Screaming Eagle offense hasn't been on the field in more than half of a quarter of game action.
Well, that's one way to hold them down, right? If they can't get on the field. You know, 12 plays on that drive, as best I recall. No penalties for West. No fumbles, no interceptions, no turnovers, just good, solid rock'em, sock'em West Brunswick football. 7
carries on that drive, Jay, for number 42, Jakari Bethel, and it was actually a 13-play drive. I correct myself there. Marshall's got room. He's got a man to miss. Yount slows him down, and he may have just stopped the touchdown as Yount slowed the return man down long enough for a West Brunswick kick coverage member. Julian LeGrand ends up making the tackle, but actually with, once again, great starting field position, the Screaming Eagles have a 1st and 10 at their own 45.
Yeah, I think if Yance hadn't stopped or slowed the runner down to let LeGrand tackle him to the ground, he may still very well be running. So excellent answer to the long touchdown drive by the Ashley Screaming Eagles. Excellent field position out around their 45.
And Jay, you don't see this every day, but Hunter Yance certainly not afraid to mix it up. He recovered a fumble against Lumberton 2 weeks ago.
Usually we tell those kickers to just run off the field. Good thing Hunter didn't do it that time.
Boy, Thames has got some room, but guess who's there for West Brunswick? As Russ Gore employs his best suplex technique to bring down the ball carrier. Excellent tackle by Russ Gore, as Thames had a lot of running room.
He did, and if he gets by Russell, Freddie Thames is still running. So when you have those open field tackles, you've got to make them, and Russ Gore certainly did that time, knocking off his pins. A real good running back in Freddie Thames.
7 tackles already for Russ Gore with 10:15 left in the second quarter. 7 tackles. Ashley in the shotgun formation, one back to the right. It's going to be a wildcat type formation as Ashley's kick returner takes the snap, and he's hit hard and dropped down the 48-yard line, which was the line of scrimmage. Maybe picked up a yard out to the 49.
Tony Williams with a big-time hit, Sam Hickman, just the way you used to do when you patrolled the lines here at West Brunswick. But nice tackle by Tony that time. That play looked for a minute like it had some possibilities, but good penetration that time by West, and Tony Williams with the excellent tackle. And now we're hearing that we got some different numbers for West here tonight. We're sorting them out.
21 is sophomore defensive back DeAndre Clariday. We have been told by our trusty sources.
We do have 2 number 21s on the roster, so.
Brings up a 4th down for the Eagles.
The Eagles are facing a 4th and 2 situation from the West Brunswick 47-yard line, and Ashley has left its offense off the field. Got to be careful not to jump off sides here if you're West Brunswick. That's a quarterback keeper, and I believe he's short, Jay. The Trojans read it well. It's going to be very close. It looks like, oh, hard to tell from all the way up here. Jay, the first line to gain is across the 45-yard line. I believe that's going to be a 4th down stop for this West Brunswick defense.
Well, the tackle was by number 32. On my roster, that's Tyler Tate. I'm getting afraid now to say who's who. But until somebody corrects me, Tyler Tate with the stop, and we'll just have to see, based on where they've marked the ball, if Ashley is going to retain possession, or is the ball going to go over to the Trojans of West Brunswick. It's going to be close.
Let's see. The officials are marking the ball. Jay, I believe the line to gain was across the 45. And the referees have indicated that Ashley is that far short, and that's going to give the Trojans possession. So after taking a 7-0 lead with a touchdown pass from McDowell to Kason Medford, the Trojan D comes up with a big 4th down stop and will take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Well, just a good defensive stop that time by the Trojans, and see if they can continue now to build a little bit on some good offensive momentum that they had throughout the last portion of the first quarter and the early minutes of quarter number 2, principally on the ground.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. McDowell's got the snap. He hands to Medford up the middle, and Medford is driven into the dirt after a 1-yard gain. We do have a flag that's in the area of holding, Jay.
Oftentimes when you see it around there, it is the hold, and there's the call by the official. So West Brunswick, who has been plagued by penalties throughout their first 4 games, but have played a pretty clean game penalty-wise early on, picks up a bad infraction here.
Tough penalty too, Jay, because you start your possession all the way up close to midfield and a holding penalty later, and you're back at your own 35-yard line.
Yeah, and those yards are just so tough to recover. Listen, a little different West team this year. You don't have a Bubba who you can hand the ball off to and at any time can bust one for 75 yards. So they're not getting big plays like they used to last year. Not that they're not capable of it, they're just not getting them so far.
Nice run there on 1st down by Medford, straight into the teeth of the Ashley defense. Medford picks up 5 yards on the play and gets half of what they lost on the penalty back. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 15.
Sam, I can remember many games last year in that 9-4 season of West Brunswick where you see Bubba run the ball so well so many times, but then this guy, Kason Medford, would come into the game and all of a sudden would be busting people here, busting people there, and we said, you know what, this kid's not a bad running back, and he's certainly shown that here in his senior year.
McDowell rolls out. He's looking for a receiver to throw to. He's got a man. That ball's caught. That's Medford on the reception across midfield down to the Ashley 47. And, Jay, we got a flag on the field. Not sure what it is. The Ashley defender is indicating that it's on West Brunswick quarterback Owen McDowell.
Well, we'll have to let the officials sort it out. If it goes against West, and it looks like that it is,
a personal foul penalty on West Brunswick. I do not know that the penalty was on Owen McDowell. It's just who the Ashley player was gesturing toward. So that negates a big completion from McDowell to Medford. And instead of the Trojans being 3 yards away from a 1st down, they're going to be well behind the chains here.
Well, they are. It's going to negate what was a great play, and it's going to negate what was a great block that time by number 61, Big Tim Sellers. He was the one that gave Owen McDowell the chance to find Medford, which he did. Unfortunately, a penalty is going to wipe it off and sets up a 2nd and
30, Jay.
Got to go to Leland to pick up this first one.
Jay, this is a 2nd and 30 situation. Excuse me, 2nd and 35 situation from the West Brunswick 25-yard line. They're on the 25-yard line and have to get, 2nd and 30 from the West Brunswick 25. Sorry, folks, I finally got it sorted out. They're on their own 25, have to get 25 yards to midfield and another 5 to the Ashley 45 for the line to gain.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay.
Moving right along.
Whatever you say, Sam Hickman.
This down and distance is almost as scary as the Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue Haunted Trail. Can you survive the haunted trail? You'll go in, but will you come out? The 9th annual Haunted Trail opens at 7 p.m. every Friday and Saturday of October, and of course October 30th and Halloween night, October 31st. Located at 758 Longwood Road in Ocean Isle Beach. For more information, call 287-3030 or visit GrissettTownFire.com.
Nice recovery.
Gee, thanks. McDowell's got the snap. He's looking for someone to throw to. He's in all kinds of trouble, eluding Ashley tacklers, except for the last one. And Ashley comes up with the sack. McDowell loses 2 yards. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 32 from the West Brunswick 23-yard line.
That's a pretty good play that time by Benjamin Brown of Ashley, 6'3" junior. Chased Owen down from behind and was able to take him to the turf. McDowell, good athlete, heck of a baseball player, and that athleticism that he possesses really comes in handy a lot for these situations he sometimes gets into out on the field.
That handoff goes to number 6, Jalen Jones-Bay, looking for running room, and he's still on his feet until he's slung down to the turf at the 21 or 22-yard line, and West Brunswick continues to go backwards.
Yeah, as good as the possession was to start the second quarter, this one has been as bad, right? Because they have gone backwards more than they have gone forward. So
West Brunswick
set up a punting situation.
Jay, West Brunswick lost 24 yards on that possession. Started 1st and 10 at their own 45, and now we're faced with a 4th and 34 from their own 21.
Ashley, no doubt, going to get good field position on this change of possession.
McDowell gets a low line drive kick. It takes a friendly West Brunswick bounce all the way across the 40-yard line, down at the 39, and it's a 40-yard punt by McDowell to kind of get the Trojans out of that hole there.
Yeah, that helped out a lot because they were looking at the possibility of Ashley getting possession inside the West 50-yard line, but the Screaming Eagles are going to start at least 10 yards back further, so all things considered, pretty good effort that time by West, particularly Owen McDowell, kicking them out of trouble.
Jay, the Trojans took over with 5 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first quarter, had that 6+ minute drive. Ashley had the ball for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then West Brunswick has it for another 3 minutes. So in the last 13 to 14 minutes of game action, the Screaming Eagle offense has been on the field for a grand total of 2 minutes. If nothing else, West Brunswick is chewing up a lot of game clock. Haven't seen a lot, period, from the Ashley offense, in large part because it hasn't been on the field.
Well, and that's probably as big a reason as any. Plus, Russ Gore's had the game of his life here tonight, particularly in managing and monitoring Freddie Thames. So they have not let Thames, who has some big play capability, bust one open. You know, big plays so important in football games, and so far, West has been able to hold Ashley and particularly Thames in check.
That's Marshall on the carry across the 40-yard line.
Who's at the bottom, Sam?
I'm going to guess Russ.
Double fours. And those linebackers, that tandem of Gore and Bethel, again, just doing their thing out there. 1-2 on the team in tackles. I think Gore had, coming into this game, over 50 tackles for the year. And certainly hasn't done anything here tonight but to add to that count.
Jay, in 2 years of watching this West Brunswick football team, I could count the times on one hand I've seen Russ Gore end up in the wrong spot. Thames is trying to get some running room across the right side, and he makes a really nice run considering there wasn't much there, and he's across the Ashley 45, brought down at the Screaming Eagle 47-yard line for a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, that was pretty much all Freddie Thames that time, because I think West had contained pretty well, forcing Freddie Thames to cut up into the inside where there was a lot of green shirts, but Thames was still able to come out with 6 6 yards. That's good effort by Thames. Sets up a 3rd and 4 situation for the Screaming Eagles.
That's going to be a keeper by Marshall. West Brunswick trying to spill it out. Marshall fighting for the yardage, and Jay, I believe he got it on maybe the 3rd or 4th effort. West barely missed him in the backfield, and Marshall gets just enough across midfield to the West Brunswick 49 for a first down.
Just enough that time. Noah Johnson almost had him in the backfield, but he wiggled free and was just able to get enough yardage to pick up the first and move the chains. That's I think the first down that Ashley's had in quite a while, Sam.
I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight.
Of course, Ashley went 4 and out on its last possession. 3 and out on the first possession. They did pick up a first down on their second drive of the game on a Thames carry, and that's the only first down of the night for the Screaming Eagles.
Flag on the field.
We have yellow hankies being thrown to the turf here, or a stoppage in play, and that's going to be an encroachment penalty on West Brunswick, so that's going to give the Screaming Eagles a free 5 yards.
So 1st and 5, such a much more palatable down and distance situation than 1st and 10.
And a play caller's dream there. The playbook is truly wide open on 1st and 5.
You can do a lot of different things when you have these downs and distance opportunities. Let's see what Coach Jeff Turner calls for Ashley on this play.
Your ATMC TV Game of the Week, West Brunswick leads Ashley 7-0 as Thames has brought down at about the 43-yard line, and gives us a brief moment to thank ATMC for its sponsorship. Serving our community for more than 60 years, ATMC is your local provider for telephone, internet, digital cable, wireless, and home security. ATMC is a local company with local priorities. Contact them today at 755-8206 or check them out on the web at atmc.com.
So 2nd and 4, Sam. Still good down and distance opportunity for Ashley.
Marshall takes the Wildcat snap, fakes like he's going to throw it, and he's brought down by Johnson. And guess who? Number 44, Russ Gore on the play. But Marshall did pick up enough for the first down.
Yeah, Jahi Marshall, only a sophomore, averages 5.1 yards per carry, 114 yards for the season, 8 catches, scored a touchdown. So 10th grader who has kind of stepped into, at least on this possession, playing the quarterback position, doing a pretty good job.
Thames looking for running room. He's got some. Dragged down by number 44, Russ Gore, and number 23, Noah Johnson, once again, along with number 32, Tyler Tate. And that's about a 4 or 5 yard pickup for Thames. And the Doghouse 2, one of our sponsors for your ATMC TV Game of the Week. The Doghouse Grill 2 is your neighborhood hotspot, serving breakfast all day, plus delicious handmade burgers, deli sandwiches, gourmet Red Barn coffee, and dessert to satisfy your sweet tooth. Open 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. The Doghouse Grill 2 on Beach Drive in Ocean Isle Beach. And last, but certainly not least of our game sponsors, here on your ATMC TV Game of the Week is Strand Termite and Pest Control. Locally owned and operated, Strand Termite and Pest Control Company has been serving the Carolinas for more than 45 years. It provides comprehensive pest control services to ensure the safety and health of your residence or workplace. Using integrated pest management techniques and new science, it proudly offers you today's most effective treatments. Enjoy fast and friendly service along with affordable prices from Strand Termite and Pest Control.
So the West Brunswick defense making their way back out on the field. Good timeout that time for both teams, I think. Each team getting a little tired. Still humid here Friday night in Shallotte, although not as bad as it was earlier or before that sun went down. And Sam Hickman What in the name of fortune have we done lately? This rain has just been...
It's following us.
Whoa! And heavy, big, not just a gentle rain, stormy rain.
Marshall drops back to pass. We haven't seen that look from Ashley, and he finds Thames, an open receiver, and Thames is across the 30, almost to the West Brunswick 25-yard line. So that's the first time we've seen Marshall throw out of the Wildcat formation thus far tonight.
Yeah, they haven't thrown the ball very much, and they don't routinely as a team put the ball in the air a lot. They pick up another first down, and the good news there for Ashley was getting out of bounds.
Stop the clock.
Stop the clock. Of course, they picked to stop the clock on the first down anyway, but they would be resetting it by now. So good effort that time by the Screaming Eagles, and West Brunswick's got a little bit of an issue going here.
Jay, where did the game clock go? I feel like this first half has just flown by.
Well, that makes up for the nights when it doesn't.
Oh, and Marshall looking for room, and he is picked up and dropped down by number 42, Jakari Bethel. A big-time loss on the play. That's a loss of 4 yards by Marshall. Marshall might be asking his coach to take him out of the Wildcat if he's going to meet Bethel in the hole every time.
Yeah, Marshall's saying, Coach, make me a deputy because I can't take that kind of heat from Jakari Bethel. So forces Ashley to take another timeout too, because Marshall taken down in the middle of the field. But excellent effort that time by the senior Jakari Bethel.
Jay, did we see some of Bethel's wrestling pedigree there? It looked like he picked him up and kind of used the old suplex technique.
So, the guy that does such a great job here at West on the PA system, his name is Sam, the wrestling coach.
Jimmy Caraway.
Yeah, so Jimmy got to be happy. In fact, I heard him say tonight, for one of those tackles, giving 2 points, and I think that was because of the wrestling.
What do you call that in wrestling? A takedown? Is that right?
Something like that. Now that's not the kind of wrestling that our producer director Aaron Varnum is involved in, is it?
I don't believe so.
I think that Midnight Madness or Mayhem or whatever in the world that boy does.
You know, I was thinking earlier, Jay, telling our production manager Aaron Varnum, he must be one heck of a rugby player because he's pointed out a couple of the guys he plays with. Of course, we know one of them, Mike, and one of Ashley's assistant coaches plays rugby, and these are big dudes, and Aaron always shows up on Friday night with nary a scratch.
He hadn't called in sick yet, has Aaron Varnum. Either is Nathan Evers.
I guess the big rugby guys just can't catch Aaron with his blazing speed.
That could be it. That could be it. Let's see if West can catch the Eagles on this play.
Marshall takes the Wildcat snap once again, and once again he's brought down by 42, Jakari Bethel, near the line of scrimmage. So Ashley stalling out a little bit, and Jay, suddenly the first half game clock has become a factor as we are at the 55-second mark of the second quarter, and Ashley has got a 3rd and 15 situation from the West Brunswick 31.
Well, again, and very much a passing situation, not only because of the yardage that's needed, but the fact that they need to play the clock. So West, with a good charge here, can maybe keep Ashley out of the end zone.
Marshall takes the snap. He's rolling out to his right. He reverses back left. He's all the way across the field, still looking for someone to throw to. He tucks it and runs. He's all the way down to the West Brunswick 20-yard line. Jay, about 4 yards short of the first down marker, and Ashley calls its last timeout.
Yeah, I was looking to see if they had a timeout left.
They had one timeout left, but Jay, Ashley only got 2 plays off in the last 1 minute of game action. That play took about 20 seconds from the snap to the end of the play as Marshall escaped all kinds of West Brunswick pressure.
How close was Big Tim Sellers that time? Big Tim almost had him. Tim, 6 foot 230, almost caught Marshall.
Jay, if you don't mind, I would like to take this brief timeout to wish a very happy birthday to an incredibly special individual. It is the birthday of West Brunswick athletic trainer Megan Hardy. And let me tell you, for our viewers who are watching this who may not be as familiar with Coach Hardy as those of us who have attended West Brunswick and those of us who know her, she is invaluable what she brings to this school. She's at the school 5 nights a week at volleyball and soccer and lacrosse and football, and I just cannot express to our viewers how much she means to this school, this athletic program, and this community. So join me in wishing Megan Hardy a very, very, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Megan, and thanks so much for all you do. As Ashley comes in to attempt a field goal, Aaron Lease is the kicker.
The snap, it's a fake. It's a fake. Marshall's got it. He's looking for running room. And Jay, it's going to be very close.
Looks like the Trojans stopped them by number 44, Russ Gore.
Wow.
Let's see what the
Russ Gore made the tackle, but it's going to be very close to the marker.
Sam, like that call? That's a good call by Coach Jeff Turner.
Measurement, ladies and gentlemen.
Jay, it is a really good call, but now you still have no timeouts and only 13 seconds left, so it might still end up being a few shots to the end zone, because if West Brunswick tackles Ashley short of the first down marker, you know, on the next few plays, and inbounds, the first half ends and you get no points.
First half is over. Let's see where they mark it. What do you think, Sam? We've had a more close marks tonight than we've had all season. That looks like a first down to me, or short of first down by the...
That is a first down.
You got it.
It is a first down.
By the length of the ball. So with, what do you got, Sam? 13 seconds left.
And when this ball is marked, it goes back in, as Ashley does not have any timeouts left.
So they better, the Screaming Eagles need to get over that ball pretty quick. And that clock is running, and they're not up over the ball. Sam, what are they doing?
Boy, 7 seconds left. Ashley rushing to get in formation. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They've got the snap. This is going to be the last play of the half. Marshall looking for some room. He doesn't have any as the Trojans come up with a big sack. That's 32 Tate and number 40 Hunter Nickel in on the sack. Clock mismanagement there at the end of the first half from the Ashley Screaming Eagles. And after 24 minutes of play, West Brunswick clings to a 7-0 lead from MH Rourke Stadium on your ATMC TV Game of the Week.
Administrators and the teachers, everybody, all the stakeholders were a lot more interested in doing more STEM. And so it seemed like a good time to apply for an ATMC grant and get more iPads in the classroom here for the art classroom and the music classroom. And it's been a big hit since we've got them.
Well, these projects in music, what we did was use the program GarageBand in order for students to create their own original music that paired along with the project they did in art class. Their goal was to create music that represented the same core value they created visually in Minecraft.
Minecraft is where you could place blocks wherever you would like, and you could just let your imagination flow through, and you could almost create anything you would like. My teammate was Lydia, and we worked together, and we came up with the idea of a bouquet.
In art class, we created an American flag and a duck to represent the value of honesty. In music, we use GarageBand to create music to show that same value.
You know, with this new creativity, they're able to create their own ideas and work in new ways, which are going to solve the problems that we're having today in the 21st century.
One of the great things about Brunswick County is we have a lot of STEM industries here in our community. We have the power plant, we have Corning over in Wilmington, and ATMC is a big employer here in the county, and they're part of our community. So it's really great that they're able to facilitate our schools having more technology by doing grant funding.
It's so impressive and it's so amazing that they're willing to invest their money into the lives of these students that we have here at Bolivia. Because a lot of these students may not have the ability to do this stuff on their own, and because of ATMC, these kids are getting opportunities to learn in new ways in the evolving world with the new technology that's coming out.
ATMC TV's Game of the Week is brought to you by J.P. Russ & Son Grading and Clearing, Community Finance of South Carolina, Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue's Haunted Trail, The Doghouse Grill 2, Strand Termite and Pest Control, The Brunswick Beacon, and ATMC.
Welcome back for second half action. West Brunswick leads the Ashley Screaming Eagles 7-0 after 2 quarters of play. Jay, West used a 13-play, 84-yard scoring drive that spanned the first and second quarters to take a 7-0 lead in the first half.
Yeah, and they relied very much on a pretty stingy defense the times that Ashley did have the football to take this 7-0 lead. Medford on the return.
Medford looking for room on the return. He's got some. He's across the 25. Still fighting for yardage all the way past the 35-yard line to the 36. Nice run by Medford and a nice surge by the kick return team.
Well, Sam, you used to play football, and of course your dad coached forever and your brother's coaching now. And I think all of them will tell you, you know, ability is important, but heart is even bigger. There's a lot of heart on that play that time because Case and Medford just refusing to go down. So good field position to start the second half for West Brunswick.
And Medford touches it on the first offensive play of the second half for West Brunswick, but a really nice tackle by Ashley's number 25, Connor Lewis, the senior defensive back, comes from his strong safety position and makes a nice tackle. He drops Medford after a gain of, we'll give him 1 yard on the play.
That play actually had some possibilities because Medford had a couple of blockers in front of him, but you're so very right. Connor Lewis, from his defensive back position, knifed in there and made an excellent stop.
Single back formation. Jay, I believe the Trojans are a man short. And West Brunswick is going to have to waste a timeout 1 minute and 1 second in to the second half, as it only had 10 players on the field.
Well, listen, it's tough to win with 11 sometimes, and it's really tough to win if you only got 10.
But it does give us a minute to thank Strand Termite and Pest Control for its sponsorship of tonight's game. Locally owned and operated, Strand Termite and Pest Control Company has served the Carolinas for more than 45 years. They provide comprehensive pest control services to ensure the safety and health of your residence or workplace. Using integrated pest management techniques and new science, it proudly offers you today's most effective treatments. Enjoy fast and friendly service along with affordable prices from our company.
So we counted helmets, we got 11, and we're going to play.
I formation for West Brunswick. That handoff goes to Bethel, looking for room around the left side, and he's got none. He is met by number 12, Elijah Robinson, along with Ashley's number 44, Shane Dickerson, who bring him down after no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long on the first offensive possession of the third quarter.
Shane Dickerson's had a pretty good game defensively for the Screaming Eagles tonight. He's been in on a number of tackles from his linebacker position.
And Bethel on the 3rd down carry. He's still fighting for yardage, but he's brought down. He does get it to the 40-yard line, but that's only 3 yards, and the Trojans needed 9. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 6 from the West Brunswick 40-yard line.
Ismael McDonald, free safety. And on the stop that time, had Jakari down low, probably where you got to try to trip that big guy up. So it sets up the 4th and punting situation for West Brunswick.
Rugby-style kick from McDowell. He chases a return man back. Fielded cleanly by Ashley, and West Brunswick misses a tackle. Returner still on his feet until he's brought down. Trojans stripping for the ball. That was Ashley, return man.
That's McDonald.
Yeah, that's Ishmael McDonald, the wide receiver on the return. Did a nice job fielding that punt and making the initial wave of tacklers miss there, partner.
Yeah, pretty good effort that time by McDonald. Pretty good effort by 65, Tyler Long. One of those offensive linemen getting downfield on kick coverage, and along with a number of West Brunswick teammates making the stop.
That was 40 yards on the McDowell punt, and McDonald with a 10-yard return sets up shop for Ashley with 9 minutes, 34 seconds left in the third quarter. The Screaming Eagles have it 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line.
Looks like Logan Black is back in at quarterback for Ashley.
And Thames is still in at running back, and he's across the 35 to the 36 or 37 for a 7-yard gain.
Well, he's the guy that it's the horse that Ashley's probably going to ride, and certainly West Brunswick seems well prepared here, at least in the first half, to defend against the dangerous Freddie Thames.
And Jay, I think you mentioned in the intro tonight that Thames he's rushed for almost 400 yards this season, so he's off to a blistering start here in 2017.
Yeah, 335 coming into the game tonight, and has some big play capability too.
Black with a wide receiver screen is dropped. Oh, I thought the Trojans should pick that up and run the other way with it, but the official signals that it was a backwards pass. And Jay, that pass was intended for Marshall, who we saw taking snaps from the quarterback position in the Wildcat formation very much in the first half.
Pretty talented young player is Jaheim Marshall, only a sophomore, and we've seen him in several different positions on the field tonight and doing well at each of them. 3rd down 4 for the Eagles.
Black's got the snap. He hands to Thames. Thames looking for running room, and I don't believe he has much of it as he's upended by Jalen Jones-Bay, shy of the 40-yard line and shy of the first down marker, and that's going to set up an Ashley 4th down critical situation here with 8.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, Bay and them, and Khalil Bland with a big-time hit to knock Freddie Thames off his pins and sets up punting situation for Ashley. West has done a really good job here this evening defending the run. Well prepared. Kelly Williamson's squad coming into this game this evening.
Lease is the punter in for Ashley. West Brunswick got to be careful not to jump off sides. The snap is a good one. Lease gets it off. It's a high, long end-over-end punt. It's fielded cleanly by Medford. Makes a man miss. He's brought down at the 30, and the Trojans are going to start back even further as Noah Johnson was whistled for a block in the back penalty. Pretty obvious infraction there, Jay, as Johnson shoved the would-be Ashley tackler down as Medford fielded the punt.
Well, you know, reasonable field position at around their 30 is going to turn into not good field position as the penalties are, this penalty is going to be walked off against West Brunswick. One of those mistakes that you'd really like to try to stay away from.
So West Brunswick forces a 3-and-out on Ashley's first offensive possession of the second half, and 7 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the third frame, and the Trojans cling to a 7-0 lead over the visiting Screaming Eagles. Again, this is the Mid-Eastern Conference opener for both teams. Ashley entered tonight's contest with a 2-2 record on the heels of a 25-point defeat against East Duplin last week. West Brunswick was off last week, had suffered a touchdown defeat at Lumberton 2 weeks ago. The Trojans still looking for their first win of the 2017 campaign. Medford's got the handoff. He tries to get to the 20-yard line, but he's brought down maybe a couple yards on the play.
Yeah, 72 Barbera, 22 Elijah Solomon, 71 Cam Shiver. A lot of guys in on that stop. Medford really not much room to work with as Ashley won the line of scrimmage on that play.
Jay, how does West Brunswick sustain a drive like it did in the first quarter and second quarter, the 13-play drive? How do they get that momentum and rhythm back offensively? Well, sometimes that guy helps. Oh, but not this time. Bethel's still fighting around tacklers, but he loses probably 3 yards on the play, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 11 for West Brunswick.
Well, Sam, if I knew the answer to that question, I'd probably be coaching rather than talking about them, right? But obviously stay away from penalties, stay away and hang on to the football. That's first and foremost. And then just try to execute, work your blocks, and try to get a little bit. You know, West hasn't had any real big plays here this evening. They haven't thrown the ball very much either. They've run the ball pretty much exclusively, but just rely on that offensive line to open up enough space for one of these talented running backs to break through.
McDowell fakes the handoff. He's looking for someone to throw to. He's got a man, and it's off of Medford's hands. And Jay, even if he completed that pass, I don't think Medford had enough running room to get the first down. So it's an incomplete pass, and we'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation at the Trojans' 17-yard line.
Well, pretty good execution that time. Again, Owen Fields, right-handed quarterback, always a little easier to, if you're going to roll right, get out of the pocket, go to, in this case, your right side. So 4th down, looks like it's going to be up to McDowell to try to kick him out of trouble here again.
Another rugby-style punt. That's a low-line drive, a really good one by McDowell. Bounces at midfield and carries all the way across the Ashley 40-yard line down to the 37. That's a 46-yard punt by McDowell, and West Brunswick almost flips the field there. You know, McDowell punted the ball from around the 15-yard line, got a nice boot on it, a nice bounce, and it gives the defense a chance. You know, it's a relatively short field for Ashley, but could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse, and TJ Cinto down on kick coverage that time, covering the ball, so good effort by TJ, and sets up, reasonable down and distance or down position on the field for Ashley at around their 37-yard line. Plenty of time, 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, and West Brunswick still clinging to that 7-0 lead.
That's Thames on the carry. He is met by Tate. Tyler Tate's had a really nice game here tonight and made several impact plays on the defensive side of the ball.
Ready to say the same thing, Sam, a name that we're not as familiar with as we are with Russell Gore and Jakari Bethel, but certainly tonight, Tyler Tate, 5'10", 190-pound junior outside linebacker. Really doing a good job here for Kelly Williamson's team tonight.
Black in the shotgun with Thames to his right. Black fakes the handoff. He goes deep. Oh, Khalil Bland very nearly comes up with the interception as there was a miscommunication there between Black and his receiver, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 11 from the Ashley 36-yard line.
Khalil Bland almost came up with a circus-type INT, but it does set up a 3rd down and long, call it 12 for Ashley. And a team that flat out doesn't throw the ball that much. Logan Black, their quarterback, only had thrown 23 passes coming into tonight's game. So you know they like to run.
That's Thames around the right side. Jay's got some running room until he's eventually tripped up. 44, Russ Gore in on the tackle, along with number 23, Noah Johnson. Thames well short of the 1st down marker, but about 5 or 6 yards on the pickup, and the Eagles are going to bring on the punt team.
You know, I think West has done a really good job of keeping Thames in front of them, right? They've done a good job containment on the edges, and they've done a good job of just keeping Thames in check. You know, he gets the ball deep in the backfield. Looks like he's picking up more yards than he really does.
Lease gets a high punt away. It bounces down at the 26-yard line. It's down at the Trojans' 25. 33-yard punt for Lease. 4 minutes, 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and gives us a chance to thank ATMC for its sponsorship of tonight's game. Serving our community for more than 60 years, ATMC is your local provider for telephone, internet, digital cable, wireless, and home security. ATMC is a local company with local priorities. Contact them today at 755-8206 or check them out on the web at atmc.com. Oh, Bethel brought down by the Ashley defender, and that's going to be a loss of 3 or 4 yards. Boy, it took every piece of cloth on that jersey to bring him down there, but the Ashley tackler did bring him down. I don't have a 57 on my roster, but nevertheless, a nice tackle.
Excellent tackle. Again, Jakari is a very strong young man, and if you're going to be able to take him down by hanging on to an arm, you've done a pretty good job.
Jones Bay's getting the handoff. He's got some room around the left side. Trying to turn the corner. He does. Across the line to gain. And it's a Trojan first down. Oh, Jay, we do have a flag all the way across the field at the 27-yard line. So Jones Bay, big carry, might just be nullified by a penalty on the Trojans, and it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah, it's in that area where maybe an illegal block, a block below the knee, something. Let's see, we'll let the officials sort it out. For a moment there, I thought maybe we were going to call the penalty against Ashley because that was a pretty
late
rough
hit
shot, out of bounds, but it's going to go against West. It's going to negate a very fine run by Jalen Jones Bay. And we got the hold against the Trojans, so take away a big gain and march the ball back. That's a tough one, Sam. That's those kinds of mistakes you were talking about. What do they have to do to get a drive going like they did in the end of the first quarter or beginning of the second? Stay away from penalties, and you see how troublesome they can be on that particular play.
2nd and 18 from the West Brunswick 17-yard line. That toss sweep is to Medford, looking for running room around the right side. He's got some. He's upended across the 25 to the 26-yard line for a 9-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 from the 26-yard line of West Brunswick.
Nice tackle that time by Connor Lewis, 5'7", 170-pounder. Hit Case of Medford down low, which is probably where you got to try to take that strong guy down.
Jay, do you think it may be a good idea later in the contest if West maybe mixes it up and runs a little play action or some kind of pass play in early down situations? It seems like they're running on first, running on second, and getting themselves into obvious passing situations on 3rd down and haven't had a lot of success moving the ball here in the 3rd quarter. Medford catches a pass, no room to run, loses 2 or 3 yards, brought down at the 24-25-yard line, and it's going to bring up a punting situation for the Trojans.
Yeah, good coverage that time by Ashley. The toss to Medford, and Kaysen really didn't have a chance. So Owen McDowell was quarterback, but tonight he's done a really nice job punting the football. That rugby-style kicking approach has worked pretty well.
And there's another one. That one's a little higher, and it's going to be fielded cleanly by McDonald at the 38. He's got some running room. Straight through the teeth of the coverage. He's still on his feet. Jay, we do have a flag on the play as McDonald is wrestled down by Noah Johnson, and I believe that successful return by McDonald is going to be nullified by an Ashley penalty near midfield.
Chances are, and if you're a West Brunswick fan, you certainly hope so, because that was an excellent return that time.
Once again, big shout out to Coach Hardy. Big birthday today.
So the officials are walking the ball back.
She is the epitome of West Brunswick
athletics. Like they're at around the West Brunswick 45, so they're going to mark it off from there, Sam, I think.
And Jay, instead of Ashley taking it over down 7 inside the West Brunswick 30-yard line, the Screaming Eagles are going to start this possession inside, well, at the Ashley 45-yard line, so a big break there for West Brunswick.
Yeah, that, again, the evidence of the problem with penalties. West picked up a bad one on that run by Jones Bay, and certainly Ashley returns the favor here by picking up the infraction on a very nice punt return by McDonald.
Jay, neither team has managed a first down offensively here in the 3rd quarter. Ashley's going to try the deep pass. It's intended for Thames, and he drops it as Jones Bay was bearing down on Thames. Did not deliver the blow, but the ball falls off of Thames' hand. Jay, looked like a catchable pass there.
Certainly thrown in the area where the receiver can make the grab, and Thames is a pretty good receiver himself with 8 catches, 88 yards coming into tonight's contest, but not able to bring that one down, and could very well been because of the presence of number 6, Jalen Jones Bay.
And Jones Bay, of course, is a ball hawk. He's got 2 interceptions on the season, one of which he nearly returned for a touchdown at Whiteville as Marshall takes the snap, and he's dropped by Bethel and number 32, Tyler Tate, for a loss of 5 yards on the play to bring up a 3rd and country mile situation for the Screaming Eagles.
Sam Hickman, that's just a good old style football play by Mr. Bethel on that one. He caught Marshall from behind and ripped him down to the ground by the pads. So big play by Chikari sets up a big play now for Ashley, 3rd and 18. 1:20 to go here in quarter number 3.
On 37-yard line for the Screaming Eagles, 3rd and 18. That's Thames with the draw. He's met in the hole by Rusgore, Jakari Bethel, and there was one more in on the tackle. It looked like Hunter Nickel, who had the nice tip pass and interception against North Myrtle Beach. So the trio of West Brunswick linebackers come up with the stop on 3rd and long, and once again, we're going to see Ashley's Aaron Lease on with the punting unit.
Well, Sam, we talked in the pregame, and a lot of times it's just the best guess, educated guess at best. We said defensively, look for the linebackers, and certainly the West linebackers have played an excellent 3 quarters here tonight. Pretty good punt by Ashley.
So Lease gets the punt away, and it's down at the West Brunswick 31-yard line. We'll give them 34 yards on the punt, and the Trojans will take over with just 29 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. So, Jay, with West holding on to a 7-0 lead, the Trojans are 12 minutes and about 30 seconds away from capturing their first win of the 2017 season.
Be a long time in coming. They still got a lot of football to go, but you certainly they can string 12 more minutes together defensively the way they have here this evening. They got a good shot. The offense would like to make it a little bit easier by getting some more points on the board.
McDowell keeps it. He's looking for room around the left side, makes one tackler miss, and hops out of bounds after about 2 yards out to the 33 or 34-yard line.
I kind of like that call, Sam, because I respect on McDowell's athleticism and his ability to run the football, and really hasn't done it that much this evening. West seemingly content to hand the ball off, and why not? They've had good success with particularly Bethel and Medford running the football. But don't forget, Owen McDowell quite capable of doing some things with his legs.
West in the shotgun formation. That handoff goes to Medford, and he's dropped at the 30-yard line for a loss of 3 yards to bring up yet another 3rd and long for West Brunswick.
That tackle by number 59. Unfortunately, we do not have a 59 on the Ashley roster here this evening, but he's been in on a couple of good stops as the 3rd quarter comes to an end.
And with the end of the 3rd quarter, very quickly, we'll thank the Doghouse Grill 2 for their sponsorship of tonight's Game of the Week. The Doghouse Grill 2 is your neighborhood hotspot, serving breakfast all day, plus delicious handmade burgers, deli sandwiches, gourmet Red Barn coffee, and dessert to satisfy your sweet tooth. Open 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. The Doghouse Grill 2 on Beach Drive in Ocean Isle Beach. And I'd like to personally thank the Brunswick Beacon for their sponsorship, my place of employment. And the Beacon, of course, been your neighborhood community newspaper since 1962. It's your source for local news, sports, and features. Subscribe to the Beacon today. Call 910-754-6890 or visit brunswickbeacon.com.
There you see a shot of the West Brunswick cheerleaders doing their thing so excellently.
Jay, how does West Brunswick hold on for a victory here tonight?
No penalties, no turnovers, grind it out, and keep the Ashley offense off the field. And when the Eagles do come on, just keep dialing up that great defense that the Trojans have played so far here this evening.
Run it, Owen.
McDowell rolls out. He hits a receiver in the hands. The pass is dropped by number 5, Khalil Bland. The pass hits the turf and rolls out of bounds, so it's incomplete, and the Trojans will have to bring on the punting unit.
And punting units have been very important in tonight's game. Certainly McDowell has done a pretty darn good job of winning the change of fields with his rugby-style punting, and good effort by the West Brunswick kick cover team. So stay away from special plays, Sam Hickman.
The snap is good. McDowell's got it. Oh, he gets it off in just a nick of time. It bounces to the 40-yard line. McDonald fields it with a man in his face, and he's got some room. He's across midfield. Oh, he goes backwards, makes a couple Trojan tacklers miss, and he's got room. He's all the way down past the 35. We do have a late flag in on the play as McDonald lost his feet and was brought down at the West Brunswick 35-yard line. Whew, catch your breath, partner.
Yeah, I just got finished saying stay away from big special team plays, and let's see if West maybe dodged another bullet with that flag positioned out there where maybe a block in the back is against Ashley. So once more negate an outstanding return by Ismail McDonald. Did it here just a few minutes ago, and they came back because of a penalty, and now Ashley has done it again. Now they're still going to end up with pretty good position on the field, Sam. Waiting for the officials to kind of sort it out, but certainly not as good as what it was by virtue of the good return by Ismail McDonald.
11:40 left on the game clock, and the Screaming Eagles with probably their best opportunity of the second half with a drive starting at midfield, and the Screaming Eagles trail by 7 here in MH Rourke Stadium. West Brunswick with a 7-0 lead. Black fakes the snap. He's rolling to his left. Oh boy, Hunter Nickel was applying pressure, and he was grabbed by an offensive lineman. So this long carry by Black, it's going to be nullified as Jakari Bethel slings him out of bounds. Jay, a lot of action going on that play, and all for naught as a holding penalty is going to bring it back for the Screaming Eagles.
Yeah, you could see that one quite clearly as West held. Who was, did you say that was?
It was Hunter Nickel applying the pressure. Yep, number 40.
Okay, so he got held clearly, and the Ashley player did it in the worst spot right in front of the officials. An easy call, another good break for West. We talked about the penalties. Penalties have really been stacking up of late against Ashley, and really doing a good job of helping West Brunswick defend.
Bethel looks like he came off the field after that tackle, Jay, limping a little bit, favoring that left leg. He's walking down the sideline there as a penalty flag is thrown, and that play is going to be blown dead. Waiting on the call from the official. That's a false start penalty, and that's going to set up a 1st and 29 from the Ashley 31-yard line.
So Sam, you had talked about the good field position, the good start that Ashley had on that change of possession. And man, you see how penalties so quickly can just take you right out of it. And Jeff Turner says, you know what? I got to stop the bleeding, and I'm going to call a timeout.
A timeout taken by the Eagles. A little 1st and Calabash for the Eagles.
Receiving word from the sideline that Bethel suffered a leg cramp on that defensive possession. Now that's why he came out of the game. Hopefully he can recover as the Trojans need him. He's a key cog on that defense. J.P. Russ & Son, serving Brunswick County since 1947, J.P. Russ & Son has become the local leader in all your heavy equipment needs. Paving, grading, clearing, drainage, and much more. J.P. Russ & Son will haul any material, even rock. Give them a call at 754-6023. Jay, not a lot of offensive action here in this second half.
But a lot of defense and actually some very lucky penalties for West Brunswick here this evening, particularly in the last few minutes that have gone against the Ashley Screaming Eagles. You know, West pitching a shutout here right now, Sam, and this is a team that came into tonight's game after the first 4 games of the season giving up 32 points a game. So I'd say Coach Kelly Williamson and his staff took advantage of that bye week last week and maybe reworked some things defensively, and have certainly come up strong here tonight against Ashley in this conference contest.
So the Screaming Eagles have a 1st and 29 from their own 31-yard line after starting this possession at midfield following a nice McDonald punt return. Black throws the slant pass. It's very nearly intercepted by number 23, Noah Johnson. Jay, that's not the first time tonight we've seen a mix-up in communication between Black and his intended receiver.
Yeah, that time it was Jaheim Marshall who was just running what appeared to be a straight go pattern, and I think his quarterback, Logan Black, thought he was going to break it off inside. So incomplete pass, second down, 11:21 to go here in quarter number 4. 7-zip, West Brunswick.
Trojans searching for their first win of the season. That handoff goes to Thames. It's a reverse to Marshall, Jay. They've got some room and some blockers. Marshall makes the guy miss. He's still on his feet. Boy, he's brought down across the 40 at the 43-yard line. Gets a lot of that yardage back. And, Jay, who made that tackle?
That would be DeAndre Clarita, sophomore.
Picked up by the Eagles, however.
Big-time tackle.
12-yard gain on the reverse, and that brings up a 3rd and 17 from the Ashley 43-yard line.
That's a pretty good call that time by Ashley. That's a play that West has not seen here this evening, and picked up some valuable yards. Still third and a long way to go.
Black drops back. They're setting up the screen. Incredible play there. Hard to tell who that was. That was number 44, Russ Gore. And Jay, remember, Thames was behind the line of scrimmage, so there is no pass interference. You can tackle a guy going out for a screen pass.
That's pretty much what Russ and Jakari did that time. Listen, Sam, when in doubt, just say Gore or Bethel, and you're like
pretty good guess, huh?
Yeah, here tonight for sure. Monster games for both the linebackers, and big effort that time is going to set up the 4th down and punting situation for Ashley. Well, let's see if West can make something happen with a special teams play, maybe a good return.
Boy, Lease has been the busiest guy on the field for the Screaming Eagles, and that's a short punt to the far sideline. It looks like it caroms out of bounds inside the West Brunswick 30-yard line. It is down at about the 29. A 28-yard punt for Lease, and the Trojans are going to take over 1st and 10 with 10 minutes, 16 seconds left in this one. West holding on to a 7-0 lead. Boy, Jay, a 5-6 minute scoring drive would be just what the doctor ordered here.
You'd love to see them replicate what they did for the last 4 or 5 minutes of the first quarter and the first 2-3 minutes of the second quarter. String together that nice, long, sustained drive, eat the clock, and end up getting into the end zone. That might be enough to put this one away, but with 10 minutes to go, that's a lot of play left here tonight.
That's a handoff up the middle once again. Stopped for no gain, actually a loss of 1 on the play, so that's going to bring the ball back to the West Brunswick 29-yard line. Just no running room for the West Brunswick Trojans.
Yeah, good penetration that time by the Ashley defensive line, and a real good play by Elijah Robinson from his linebacker position. He really sealed it and just wrapped up the ball carrier. Excellent play by the senior Elijah Robinson. 34 tackles, a sack, and an INT coming into tonight's game against West Brunswick.
That handoff goes to Bethel. He's fighting for yardage, and that's one of the best carries of the second half for West Brunswick as Bethel gets it near the 35-yard line to the 34 for 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
I am really not sure how Bethel was able to get anything out of that. He was hit just about the time he received the football from McDowell and was somehow able to get his shoulders squared up and around the edge. Made a couple of tough yards for, sets up 3rd and 6.
That handoff goes to the inside. Oh boy, Noah Johnson had 1 more yard to get for the first down, but he's stopped dead in his tracks, and he's brought down
Looked like number 3.
at the 39-yard line, 5 yards on the carry for Johnson.
Looked like a tackle by Grenion.
Boy, it might have been the play of the game because it looked like Johnson certainly had enough momentum to get the first down, but he was stopped dead in his tracks. As soon as he was hit, he was brought down.
Sam Hickman, looks like West going to go for it. Maybe try to draw the Eagles off sides. It's a dangerous play. If they don't make it, they're going to turn the ball over deep in their territory.
Yeah, Jay, a risky call here, especially considering the West Brunswick defense has dominated the Ashley offense here in the second half in particular. So as desperately as the Trojans and head coach Kelly Williamson want a first down, may be prudent to punt this away and maybe let your defense take this one home.
Yeah, and I think they got out over the ball and just tried to see if an aggressive Ashley team would jump off sides. The Screaming Eagles showing good discipline on that possession, and West calls timeout. Now we'll see what Coach Williamson and staff decide to do, but as well as the West Brunswick defensive unit has played here this evening, I'd like to think that maybe they would go ahead and rely on them again, but
Jay, the offense is staying on the field for this 4th and 1 from the West Brunswick 39-yard line in a game where the Screaming Eagles have not converted a first down in the second half.
Well, remember that McDowell has been handling the punting, although it would be a tough kick from under center, right? So, let's see.
Great call, partner.
Let's see what the Trojans are going to do.
That's Bethel up the teeth of the defense, and he's got enough for the first down. Bethel picks up about 3 yards, 4 yards out to the 43. And boy, did you hear that, Jay, or feel that? That was a collective sigh of relief from this partisan Trojan crowd.
I'll tell you what, that's a big gamble by Coach Williamson, and he won it. He rolled it, and it came up the right number. Credit that big offensive line, Gabe Lewis, Sellers, Casey Holler, Tyler Long, Monty Stanley and company. Russ score up there as a tight end. Good charge off the ball that time. Bethel picked up the first down pretty easily.
That handoff is to Medford, and he's got really nice yardage at the midfield. But, Jay, I believe that's going to be an illegal procedure penalty, and that's going to nullify a 7-yard gain by Medford.
Boy, and Kelly Williamson is out on the field lobbying his case with the official, not very happy with that call. That was a great run that time by Medford.
Flag against the Trojans.
So walk it off, take off a nice run by Medford, tackle on 5 yards, penalty.
1st and 15 from the West Brunswick 38-yard line, it appears.
Everything bad happened then, Sam. You lose a good run, you pick up negative yards, you stop the clock. I mean, everything you didn't want to have happen because of those nasty penalties.
7 minutes, 10 seconds left in the 4th quarter. West with a 7-0 lead. That handoff is to Noah Johnson around the left side, looking for running room. The ball's out, and it trickles just out of bounds. And what a break the Trojans caught there. 6:58 left on the clock as Noah Johnson was tackled for a loss on the play, and it puts West Brunswick way behind the chains after the illegal procedure penalty and the, we'll call it, 4-yard loss by Noah Johnson all the way back to the Trojan 33.
Well, guess what? West happy to have the loss on that play because they still have possession of the football. Dodged a bullet that time. That ball just did trickle out of bounds so that West Brunswick could retain possession.
That's a handoff up the middle to Medford looking for running room. He's brought down by the initial tackler across the 35 to the 36-yard line for 3 yards.
Another solid tackle that time by Connor Lewis. Wow, he has been very active defensively for Ashley here this evening. And West would be well served to take as much time off of this one as they possibly can. The clock is running at 6:25 in the fourth quarter. Third and a long way. Passing situation, Sam, I think maybe they keep this one on the ground.
Maybe keep it on the ground. If nothing else, Jay, you run 30 more seconds off the clock and punt it away. Trojans call the pass play. McDowell rolls to his right, looking for a receiver, and he wisely chunks that one over the Ashley sideline and out of bounds. Really wise decision from the experienced quarterback. Nothing was there immediately. McDowell chunks it out of bounds. The one thing you don't want to do is turn the football over, and McDowell's going to stay right there and punt this one away to the Screaming Eagles.
Yeah, the only thing you lose there is, the down, of course, and you stop the clock, but really want to rely now on Owen to try to once again, as he's done a lot of time here this evening, kick him out of trouble.
Jay, that was a 9-play drive that only covered 6 yards. As McDowell gets that punt away, it bounces at the 42-yard line to the 38 or 39. So Ashley takes over, trailing by 7, 5:57 left in the contest. And we'd like to thank Community Finance of South Carolina for sponsoring this barn burner. Community Finance offers personal and title loans with the most competitive rates in the area. Located right across the border in Little River, Community Finance provides quick approval so you can have cash in minutes. Visit them online at cfscloans.com.
Well, that time McDowell was aiming right, ran right, kicked right, and I think it's because he wanted to stay away from McDonald, who has run a couple of punts back here tonight a long way. Both of them came back because of penalties, but don't want to give him another chance.
Oh, that pass is intended and it is incomplete as number 40, Hunter Nickel, laid the wood to Ashley quarterback Logan Black, forces the errant pass. It falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
I think Logan's trying to wonder now, is he in Brunswick or New Hanover County? Because number 40, the big guy, Hunter Nickel, really took him hard to the ground. Actually, lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
Boy, Jay, it looks like the Trojans are just stuffing anything Ashley tries, screens, slants, runs. So they're going to go to their horse, Freddie Thames, and he's still on his feet across the 40 to the 43, 3-yard pickup from the senior running back.
With that play, Sam, they held him to 3. That was scary, though, because there was a lot of guys up front in the box for West that time. They almost ran past the ball. And you don't want to give Thames a head start. They did a good job to knock him off his pins before he could get going. 3rd and 7 for the Screaming Eagles. Another big down for both squads.
Oh, that's Black. It looks like a busted play, and he's brought down in the backfield by Russ Gore. Once again, number 40, Hunter Nickel, in on the tackle. That's a loss of about 5 or 6 yards, and the Eagles are once again going to trot out number 20, Aaron Lease. I know Aaron Lease. I feel like he's my brother by the end of the night. I've called his name so much.
Tell you what, no lease for him tonight. We just went ahead and bought him. That's a mortgage. He's kicked the ball a lot here this evening and done a pretty good job. Again, West Brunswick's defense comes up stellar. Let's see if they can get a good punt return.
That ball bounces down to 31-yard line. Medford's just going to watch it roll down at the West Brunswick 26. The Trojans, with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in this one, are going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
So if they've got a 4-minute drill, they'd like to run it right now. A couple of first downs, grind it out on the ground, and see if they can't get out of here with victory number 1 of the 2017 football season. And they got some tough games coming up, Sam, in this 3A, 4A Mid-Eastern Conference. I mean, you got Topsail, Hoggard, New Hanover. They're all at 4-0. They're all going to be tough. We saw a North team a couple of weeks ago that looks improved, like they're improved. South's got a win, the only Brunswick County school that has a win, so like to get this W here tonight if you're West Brunswick.
That handoff goes up the middle to Medford. He's got absolutely no running room. He does protect the ball. He's brought down. Loss of 1 on the play from Medford to the 24-yard line.
Whoever your ball carriers are tonight, West Brunswick, in this last 4 minutes, they better be guys that value the ball, right? You don't want to put this ball down on the ground. Possession, so very important. And West taking their sweet time, as they should, to get this play off.
Jay, is it about the time where you really start intentionally milking the play clock to try and make this game clock expire here?
Looks like what Owen's doing right now, and how good is it to have a senior out there that's kind of counting these seconds in his head.
And that handoff goes to Bethel up the middle. He's stood up by a host of Ashley tacklers, still driving his feet forward.
No pickup.
Just nothing out there on that play.
Make some noise,
Nothing but a lot of white shirts.
Give Bethel a yard on the play back to the original line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Jay, time has certainly become a factor. There are 3 minutes left in this game, and the Trojans lead 7-0.
I'm not sure, Sam, can you tell how many, do we know how many timeouts, if any, that Ashley has?
Jay, I believe the Screaming Eagles have all 3 of their second half timeouts left. West only has 1 left.
Okay, so if they do, they're in pretty good shape if they can hold West on this play.
McDowell fakes the handoff. He runs around the right side. McDowell's got some running room. It's a first down. You called it earlier, Jay. McDowell always dangerous with his legs, and he may have just picked up the run of the game with about 14 or 15 yards. Good enough for a West Brunswick first down.
I tell you, I'm surprised they haven't done that before now. Maybe they were saving it for just the right spot to let Owen McDowell take over a game, not with his arm, not with his head, but with his legs. He's a very good runner, and he's very trustworthy with the ball. So excellent effort by the senior. Really maybe the play of the game outside the touchdown pass. If West can get this final 2 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock.
There's less than 2 minutes left on the game clock, 1:57 to be exact, and Kelly Williamson is going to call the last of his 3 timeouts. Jay, we're in that situation now where after every West Brunswick play, Ashley's going to be burning its complement of timeouts to try and stop the clock and get one last crack to try and tie or either win this game. Last but not least, a reminder to our viewers to catch the ATMC TV Games of the Week on ATMC Channel 3 and ATMC TV Channel 3 and ATMC TV HD Channel 910 on Wednesday and Thursday nights at 8:30 following the Friday night contest. These would not be possible without the financial contributions of our sponsors, including Grisset Town Longwood Fire and Rescue Haunted Trail. Can you survive the Haunted Trail? You'll go in. The question remains, will you come out? The 9th annual Haunted Trail opens at 7 p.m. every Friday and Saturday night of October, plus October 30th and Halloween night the 31st. Located at 758 Longwood Road in Ocean Isle Beach. For more information, call 287-3030 or visit GrissetTownFire.com. That's Bethel on the carry. He's brought down, maybe lost a yard there, may have got back to the line of scrimmage, and Ashley uses the first of his 3 timeouts. Bethel did get back to the line of scrimmage there, so no gain. So, Jay, quick reset. What do we have? 1:50 left. It's 2nd and 10. Ashley has 2 timeouts left, so a West Brunswick first down would effectively end this contest.
If they can pick up a first down, I think we can start up the bus. But that's going to be a big pickup. Ashley, we talked a lot about the defensive effort that West Brunswick has put forward here tonight. How about the Ashley Screaming Eagles? They pitched almost a shutout on their own, so still some football left to go, still some things to do if you're West Brunswick to get out of here with a victory, but if they could somehow carve out a first down, that might very well do it. And listen, above all, Sam, above all,
protect the ball.
Don't put that ball down. They have avoided turnovers here tonight. Came pretty close on that one, but maintain possession, try to move the chains if you possibly can. In worst case, if it comes down to a punting situation, kick the ball and maybe kick it away from number 17, Ismail McDonald.
McDowell under center. He hands it off to Medford. Medford looking for running room. Boy, almost got an arm ripped off of that ball.
Well,
but he gets across the 40 to the 41 for 1 yard.
And you see, Ashley, smartly not only tackling the ball carrier, but trying to tackle the ball. This is what the kids are schooled to do in situations like this. They want to try to free up the ball. They didn't take a timeout, Sam. So they're going to let this baby run, and he got 120. I wonder if they really do have all those timeouts.
3rd and 9 play from the 41-yard line at West Brunswick. The clock is under 1 minute, 10 seconds. West again with a 7-0 lead. Trojans searching for their first win of the 2017 campaign. That handoff goes to Bethel. He cuts it inside, fighting for yardage across midfield. I believe he's got a first down. Bethel with a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th effort across midfield, and he has enough for the first down yardage, it appears. And Jay, that just might do it.
That just might do it. You know what Bethel did that time? 3 things. 1, didn't fumble.
Didn't go out of bounds.
2, didn't go out of bounds. 3, picked up the first down. So I think West could probably take a knee here for a couple of downs and get out of here with a very, very hard-fought but well-earned 7-0 victory against the visitors from Ashley.
And it is. Looks like it's going to be the victory formation for West Brunswick. And now Ashley uses one of its timeout. Did not use one after the 2nd down play before Bethel's carry. Curious decision there, but nevertheless, 44 seconds left in this one. West Brunswick with a 1st and 10 at the Ashley 49-yard line. And Jay, it looks like the Trojans are gonna etch one in the win column.
Well, I tell you, it's Sam Hickman, 1-4, not the best of records, is it? But wow, how much better does it look than 0-5, right? And how good does it look when you're 1-0 in the Mid-Eastern Conference? And that's the nice thing about, you know, you got the out-of-conference games away, and now we're playing conference, and they're sitting at the top of the conference with this win here tonight.
And Jay, guess what? After all this, all the struggles early in the season, West Brunswick is now tied for first place in the Mid-Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of tough football ahead for both these teams. Again, some of the teams up top, Topsail, Hoggard, New Hanover, very, very strong. Noah LaVale, the Topsail, excellent rusher leading the area, but our game next week will feature North Brunswick.
County rivalry. Next week we will be hitting the road to Leland, North Carolina for a county rivalry showdown between the West Brunswick Trojans and the North Brunswick Scorpions. From MH Rourke Stadium in Charlotte, West Brunswick has earned its first win of the 2017 campaign with a 7-0 shutout victory over the Ashley Screaming Eagles. Jay, quickly, final takeaways from tonight's game.
Well played game by both squads, and a lot of credit to West starting out the year with 4 straight losses, but they took advantage of that bye week last week, seemed to got some things straightened out defensively. A team that was giving up 32 points a game comes in here tonight against a pretty good Ashley squad and pitches a shutout. So congratulations to Kelly Williamson and his staff, and a good effort by Ashley. Tough to win on the road. The Screaming Eagles tried here this evening, but fall short 7-zip to the West Brunswick Trojans.
And Jay, while it wasn't pretty at times offensively for West Brunswick, give the kids credit. They didn't turn over the football. They managed the clock wisely. They made all the plays they had to make, including 2 huge third down conversions late in the game. One a run by McDowell, another a 10-yard run by Jakari Bethel, and the Trojans are 1-0 in Mid-Eastern Conference play. For Jay Combs, I'm Sam Hickman from MH Rourke Stadium in Charlotte. West Brunswick 7, Ashley 0. Good night from ATMC TV Game of the Week.
We are ATMC TV Channel 3 and HD Channel 910, your community channel.